Hey guys, it's Mike here over in Taiwan. Just finished my breakfast, and a minute ago it was like super quiet, and it's kind of funny how in 5 minutes then that can definitely change here in Taiwan. Motorcycles, cars, etc. But at least it's quieter than a lot of other places that could be, right? Yeah, it's a pretty. I don't know what it is about this weather, but I feel like a little bit groggy. And yeah, I want to talk about. I did have a language lesson yesterday. I had a Japanese language lesson yesterday, so I kind of got a taste of my own medicine when it comes to being on the other side of language learning. And you know, the thing is that when I used to be really focused on learning Japanese a long time ago. Now I'm not. I'm more focused on learning Chinese Mandarin. So if you've ever tried to study a language and another language kind of interferes with that language, then you probably know what I mean. So it was kind of like every time I was trying to say something in Japanese, then Chinese Mandarin would come out. Like when I was trying to say now, I would say it in Chinese Mandarin, but yeah, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. I think that probably just the brain just needs to rewire itself and, you know, to the situation. I think I'll probably get used to it. I think I need to start with just watching TV shows in those separate languages. Like, you know, whenever I watch a Japanese TV show and then maybe watch the Japanese subtitle. As far as, you know, watching, I don't really know if there's any shows that I watch in Chinese Mandarin, to be honest, but I might try. I'm just going to go look for it and, you know, see how it goes. I think that right now the way that I feel there's like not enough time in the day to do everything. I did have two things that I needed to do before I was going to go to bed, and I was actually almost going to go just sleep and just forget about it. But one thing was I needed to take a picture for my work because I guess they're going to be postering it or advertising somewhere or something, blah, blah, blah. And the other one was I need to finish some PPTs. You know, it's weird about like these days about like PPTs. If you just as long as you have an idea and you have like maybe 10 lines, you can get basically AI to do all of the grunt work and everything for you. And you just have to look at the finished product, and then if it's, I mean, half decent, then you could just like, you know, roll it out. But if it's, you know, it's not something that you really want, or maybe there's too many mistakes or something, then obviously. So we're kind of getting at that point with AI, with that they'll make a product that's, you know, pretty good. It's good enough, right? But if somebody is an expert, then they can probably have the eye to see that it's not exactly the way that they want it to be. But you can, wow, there we go. I love that. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term rice rockets, but it's kind of like Asian guys, usually young Asian guys, they'll have like these kind of like, it's like these like you could tell that when they press the gas or they hold the gas that it's just a very small engine, and it almost sounds like a lawnmower. That's probably the best way that I would describe it. Back home, we'd have a lot of guys who do stuff like that, and I want to tell you guys this funny story. I used to go to this school, and there's this guy, Steve, and Steve was an okay guy. I hope him all the best in his life right now, but at the time when I did know him in high school, he was a bit of a jerk. I stole somebody's bike. I still do remember. But it was funny. We have this thing called Ontario Student Application Pension. I don't know what it is, but it's basically you can apply for money that you have to pay back later from the government. And he took the money for that and he spent it on like a car stereo for his car. And I thought that was like, wow, that's like the dumbest thing, right? But maybe for him it was really great because maybe he was, you know, able to impress the people that he was trying to impress at the time. You know, we were just young and just really silly. We would just spend money on frivolous things when we were younger, and you know, we probably should have taken that money and, I don't know, invested it. I don't even know if you could take that money and invest it legally, but or, you know, go buy something that's more useful. Even investing in an education in computer programming at that time will probably get you like a pretty good salary. But we weren't really thinking about that. We were usually just thinking about the immediate gratification. Wow, that's a really useful word for you, or phrase, immediate gratification. Just thinking about the here and now and not thinking about what's going to happen in the future. I don't know if you guys have heard about these like certain experiments. There was like one experiment where there was this scientist, and he told the kid in the room, like, if you eat this cookie now, I won't give you another cookie, but if you this cookie is here when I come back in 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is, then I'll give you another cookie, right? So yeah, it was so then it was, what was the point of that situation? The point of the situation was when they measured something about the kids later in their lives, that they were able to not immediately be gratified or not eat the cookies right away, then they actually did better in life. If you are able to just resist the temptation of something right away and able to go and do it later, it's so very useful for you. I don't know why, but I was watching yesterday all of these like funny videos about sleeping in cars, like homeless people that sleep in cars without the engine, and you're thinking to yourself, like, why on earth would I watch that, and why on earth would somebody want to do that, right? But there's actually, it's kind of weird because there's a little bit of a science to it. God, this is funny. There's like this mosquito that's like right in front of me, but yeah, I think it flew away. I don't know what he's doing in front of my phone anyways. So basically, I'll just explain to you like really quickly about how the science of this stuff works. Glass is like the absolute like worst insulator because it doesn't make the heat stay inside. It actually makes the heat go outside. And oh wow, I wish that I had like notes about how to describe this to you, but every time that you take a breath, like your moisture is coming out of your body, and that moisture will actually go into the car. Over the course of 8 hours, if you keep blowing out moisture, then your car is basically going to be soaked, which sounds weird. What you actually want to do is you want to open the window a little bit so that moisture will actually escape and go out of the window, but that sounds a little bit counterintuitive because you are actually because you're letting the cold come inside, right? And there's all these like different things that you need to take care of in order to leave the heat to come inside of your car, I guess. So the first thing is you need to get some type of insulation, and actually one of the best ways to use insulation is foam. And it's actually the cheapest way to use the insulation. So you insulate the car using the foam, and you actually make it into like some type of a tent. I don't forget the name of the material, but it's like this kind of like metal plastic that keeps heat inside. Basically what it does, it reflects the heat back at you. And a lot of people will make the mistake of wrapping themselves up in this material. But what it does is it doesn't let any of the air come out. So you want to have the air circulate, but at the same time you want to have the heat reflect back to you. Hopefully I'll be able to get some video about this to you guys later, because I'm really interested in this, even though this situation will probably never happen to me, probably never happen to you. But it's kind of like one of those situations where, what if you were outside in the cold and you had to go sleep outside? What would you do, right? Most people would just cry. Some people would just say, okay, I'm going to try to get some money and go to a hotel. But like how, what if you don't have enough money for a hotel? So there's the kind of like these what if situations that like happen in my mind. I hope this never happens to you, right? But you never know what's going to happen. And hindsight is 20/20. So plan for the future and make it happen for yourself, be successful, and don't get caught outside. I'll see you guys later. Bye.